Imagine a vast colossal expanse formed 300 million years ago and ranging over 1.5 million square kilometers. It is the ninth largest water body on the planet and supports some of the largest fisheries in the world. The Gulf of Mexico is an enigmatic region, brimming with life and benefiting the countries along its shores. But amidst this abundance, it harbors dark and life-threatening tales. There lies a seething history of shipwrecks, slavery, and environmental threats. Today, we aim to drain the depths of the Gulf and lay bare its secrets. What lies concealed beneath its waters? What relics of a shadowy past await discovery? Join us as we unveil the hidden wonders and mysteries of the Gulf of Mexico. Over 300 million years ago, the Gulf of Mexico did not exist as we know it today. The entire area was part of the supercontinent Pangaea, and the soil composition was similar to that of the Yucatan Peninsula. For many years, scientists believed that the Gulf of Mexico basin was formed through natural geological processes such as mitogenesis or the splitting of a giant landmass between present-day Florida and the Yucatan. There was only one hypothesis at the time, the rift hypothesis. However, new data emerged pointing out inconsistencies, puzzling scientists and challenging the pre-established hypothesis. In the early 1980s, a breakthrough occurred when research scientist Luis Alvarez and his colleagues discovered unusually high concentrations of iridium in a geologic boundary layer dating back to the Cretaceous and Paleogene eras. Iridium is an extremely rare element, not usually found on the Earth's surface, but is quite noticeably present in asteroids and meteorites. Furthermore, scientists found traces of global planetary fire and deposits of deep-sea microorganisms at the geologic boundary layer. All of this suggested that the Gulf of Mexico is a result of a rare cataclysm, potentially caused by the impact of a large asteroid. Yes, the same asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs and up to 80% of biological species. The exact location of the impact crater remained a mystery for a long time, until scientists observed a peculiar pattern of sinkholes called cenotes on the Yucatan Peninsula. The cenotes showed a distinctive ring-shaped structure and a unique composition that indicated a massive and powerful event millions of years ago. In 2016, an international team of scientists drilled a hole deep into the Yucatan Peninsula, confirming the presence of a 66-million-year-old layer of molten and hardened rock. This discovery confirmed that the Gulf of Mexico is, in fact, an ancient impact crater formed by the collision of a colossal asteroid. This crater, hidden beneath the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, has a diameter of about 200 kilometers and a depth of 30 kilometers. It serves as a reminder of the powerful forces that have shaped the Earth's history. Now, returning to the question posed in the title, what would be discovered if we drained the entire Gulf? As we drain away layer upon layer of sedimentary rock, we can study a sight no living creature has witnessed for 66 million years. Studying the crater's profile, we can deduce the asteroid's size and speed, over 7 miles wide, traveling at 40,000 miles per hour. With the Gulf's vast basin exposed, geologists could study its rock formations, giving us a clearer picture of its history and evolution. We might find clues to ancient tectonic activity, past climate shifts, and even evidence of other catastrophic events that shaped the region. Moreover, it is possible to reveal areas where humans have been digging thousands of feet below the seabed to exploit natural resources, especially oil and natural gas. The Gulf of Mexico is a significant player in oil production. This vast region accounts for a staggering 17% of total U.S. crude oil production, making it a critical resource for meeting their energy demands. Extracting oil from the Gulf of Mexico requires specialized facilities known as oil rigs or platforms. These structures house drilling rigs, processing equipment, and living quarters for workers. Some platforms are fixed to the seabed, while others float on the water's surface, reaching even greater depths to tap into oil reserves. The Gulf is home to thousands of oil platforms, with about 50 dedicated to deep-sea drilling. These platforms push the boundaries of human engineering, extracting oil from extreme depths and challenging conditions. In the 1970s, oil producers began the Great March for deep-sea oil. Despite the difficulties, oil companies invested significantly to access valuable reserves deep beneath the Gulf's waters. As with any human endeavor, offshore drilling comes with risks, and sadly, one such risk turned into a devastating reality in the Gulf of Mexico. We're referring to the largest offshore oil spill ever recorded. The Deepwater Horizon was a massive floating drilling platform installed at a depth of 1.5 kilometers and located 80 kilometers off the coast. It was equipped with advanced technology and had been operating for 9 years without major malfunction. However, on April 20, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil rig suffered a catastrophic blowout, causing a massive explosion and fire. The rig eventually collapsed, releasing millions of barrels of crude oil into the ocean. The oil leak lasted 152 days, spilling 5 million barrels of oil into the Gulf. The explosion and fire caused the deaths of 11 workers. The spillage devastated the Gulf's delicate ecosystems. As already mentioned, the region's economy depends upon fishery and tourism, and as the water was contaminated, several U.S. states with access to the Gulf were severely impacted. It was the worst environmental disaster ever to strike the Gulf of Mexico. The wreck of the Deepwater Horizon and possibly the remains of the 11 lost workers now lie on the seabed. But that's not all. Human commerce began in the Gulf of Mexico centuries before the oil and gas industry took hold. The region's maritime history is revealed as the water continues to drain away. Throughout history, the Gulf of Mexico has been a major route for the Spaniards to export treasures acquired from the indigenous American people. Due to various factors like storms, pirates, and sabotage, many ships carrying invaluable cargoes sank, leaving behind untold riches. While some of these treasures were salvaged, countless others remained hidden beneath the Gulf's sands. The Gulf serves as a graveyard for sunken ships that have met their tragic fate. There are many historical shipwrecks in the Gulf, numbering over 750 known wrecks. While many are from the more recent world wars, some date as far back as the 16th and 17th centuries. But what's the use of studying hundreds of years-old shipwrecks? There is one simple answer. Protecting the future involves studying the past. These sunken vessels act as time capsules, preserving the essence of their respective eras. By exploring and understanding these shipwrecks, we can gain scientific insight into the journeys of explorers, the trade routes, and the invaluable cargo they carried. However, searching for sunken treasure isn't a walk in the park. In shallow waters, ships quickly become buried by sand, making them inaccessible within days or weeks. Moreover, the quest for these treasures is a complex endeavor. It requires a workforce, technologically advanced tools, and economic resources to keep the project running. While some treasures have been retrieved, the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Basin still hold vast underwater riches. In the wake of the 20th century, many discoveries of sunken ships with treasures in the Gulf have been made by chance or as a byproduct of other research efforts. In 2011, an oil company identified a shipwreck on the ocean floor approximately 4,500 feet deep, earning it the name the Meteor. A state-of-the-art remotely operated vehicle, ROV, was deployed to investigate the wreck, capturing valuable footage and sonar data. The ROV took 4 hours to get down to the seafloor, and when it did, scientists couldn't believe what they were seeing. The wreck was remarkably intact, with its copper-sheathed bow and stowed anchor. The discovery of 6 cannons and a cache of muskets also hinted at its potential use as a privateer. The theory wouldn't be shocking, as hundreds of privateers in the Gulf of Mexico operated during the first half of the 19th century. But as the water drains further away from the Meteor, scientists discovered that the wreck was not alone. Other nearby shipwrecks were revealed, known as Wreck A, Wreck B, and Wreck C. Wreck A was heavily armed with cannon and muskets. It was likely another privateer. Wreck B was a well-preserved cargo of valuable animal hides, while Wreck C, a larger 3-masted vessel, showed no signs of cargo. What does that mean? Scientists predicted that Wreck C either sailed empty or carried perishable goods, including people, possibly indicating involvement in the illegal slave trade. A couple of years later, in 2019, American oceanographers stumbled upon another sunken ship, presumably launched in the mid-19th century. This discovery was reported to the United States National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. After an extensive investigation, it was reported that the ship was a 121-foot wooden vessel found at a depth of 500 meters. Experts believe the ship sank due to a fire on board, evident from the hull's missing masts and charred fragments. However, its affiliation and the date of sinking remain mysteries. As we explore these shipwrecks, we're not just uncovering historical artifacts, we're unlocking the stories of past civilizations, trade routes, and incredible journeys across the Gulf of Mexico. From large oil spills to hundreds of sunken ships and the darkness of the slave trade, the submerged mysteries of the Gulf will be brought to the surface if it is drained. Thank you for watching. Join us next time as we venture into another awe-inspiring destination. Until then, keep exploring.